The concept of space tourism was created when an American businessman named Dennis Tito went to space as a tourist in 2001. In that year, Dennis Tito paid around $20 million to the Russian Space Agency and an American space company for his trip, which has now grown to approximately $34 million. Since 2001, about 15 people have gone to space for space tourism. When we talk about present, there are three main companies that offer space tourism. Number one is SpaceX, and its owner is Elon Musk, who is also the owner of Tesla. Number two is Blue Origin, owned by Jeff Bezos. And number three is Richard Branson's space company, Virgin Galactic. Space tourism can take various forms, such as orbital, suborbital, and lunar space tourism. Different companies offer unique experiences in space tourism. When we talk about SpaceX, the company provides orbital space tourism, meaning their space flights can go to orbit and even reach the moon. On the other hand, Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic offer suborbital space flights, which means their spacecraft go up to a height of only 80 to 100 kilometers above Earth's surface. So, what is the future of space tourism and how can it become possible? How much expense will be involved in space tourism? And is this concept dangerous for us? Find out in this video. Space tourism is emerging as a business field. In this field, over time, space companies are rapidly advancing their technology. Experts believe that by 2034, the market revenue for this field could reach $5.19 billion, compared to the current $850 million. Space tourism is a race where the biggest competition is between the owners of two companies. The first company is Blue Origin, and its owner is Jeff Bezos. The second company is Virgin Galactic, and its owner is Richard Branson. Two billionaires start a competition where they decide who will be the first to ride in their self-made spacecraft and go into space. Initially, Jeff Bezos announced on July 20, 2021, that he would be going into space aboard his own rocket. Following this, Richard Branson, who originally planned to go after Jeff Bezos, moved up his schedule and decided to go into space on July 11, 2021, using his own spacecraft. This way, Richard Branson becomes the first person in the world to go into space by riding in his personally designed space plane. Richard Branson's space plane went up to a height of 88 kilometers above the Earth's surface. From such a height, one can easily see the curvature of the Earth and experience zero gravity. Space tourism is not for everyone. If you're dreaming of a trip to space, there are two big things to keep in mind. It's risky. Space tourism is still a relatively new activity, and there's always the potential for accidents or technical problems. It's expensive. A ticket to fly on Virgin Galactic's space plane costs $450,000. Blue Origin and SpaceX are likely to charge even more. So, if you're not comfortable with the risks or can't afford the price tag, space tourism is probably not for you. First, let's talk about how risky space tourism is for our lives. Then, let's discuss how much expense is involved in taking a tour in space. Space tourism can be risky because it's still new. Companies are figuring out how to run safe space flights. For example, Richard Branson started Virgin Galactic in 2004 to make space tourism possible by 2007. But they faced many problems and their space plane wasn't ready until 2021. There was even a deadly crash during a test flight in 2015. Now, let's talk about the cost of space tourism. A ticket on Virgin Galactic's space plane cost $450,000. They've already sold 700 tickets and recently sent 3 people on their first successful space tourism mission. Jeff Bezos claims Blue Origin sold tickets worth $100 million. They haven't revealed the official price yet, but one ticket was auctioned for $28 million. Same thing with SpaceX. They sold one ticket just like Blue Origin, but their ticket was even more expensive. It cost a crazy $55 million. Let's finally talk about whether space tourism is positive or negative for our Earth's environment. In the case of Virgin Galactic, instead of a rocket, they use a space plane. You might think this is more environmentally friendly, but it's not. To understand this better, let's compare it to a regular airplane. For a normal airplane, the emission of carbon dioxide, CO2, is 0.2 kilograms per passenger per mile. However, for Virgin Galactic's space plane, the emission is 12 kilograms per passenger per mile. This means it produces 60 times more air pollution. There is no doubt that such high levels of air pollution can cause significant damage to the ozone layer. Blue Origin claims that their rocket is environmentally friendly. They use fuel that doesn't harm the environment, and the exhaust produced during launch is just water. However, when the rockets are launched, they generate so much heat that it can increase the amount of ozone gas in the Earth's atmosphere. Having too much ozone on Earth can be dangerous. In the case of SpaceX and Blue Origin, there is a potential risk of facing similar issues. Currently, space tourism is not very common, so the Earth's environment is relatively safe. However, in the future, when space tourism becomes more widespread, there may be a threat to the environment. It's uncertain whether space companies will develop technology to ensure that the Earth's environment remains safe. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like.